I watched from my living room window, quiet, simmering rage building in my chest as Karen, my neighbor with the perfectly coiffed blonde bob and an air of supreme entitlement, dug up my prize-winning hydrangeas. It was the third time this month, and honestly, a shovel to the face was starting to seem like a reasonable response. Seriously? What is wrong with this woman? I whispered to myself, the question hanging heavy in the still morning air. The first week I moved in, she'd marched right up to my property line, a little flag in her hand, and declared, "Just so we're clear, this little patch is mine now." Okay. I hadn't said a word then, just smiled and nodded, letting her believe whatever she wanted. Oh, the sweet irony of that moment, a quiet little secret I'd been holding on to. My initial feeling of annoyance had long since morphed into a sort of morbid fascination, a clinical observation of human audacity. I mean, what kind of person just takes things? It's unbelievable. Every morning, I'd wake up to a new trespass. One day, it was the 3-foot-tall solar lights I'd placed along the fence. The next, a line of fresh-sown lavender I'd been nurturing for weeks was gone, leaving only the faint, sweet scent of what used to be. I could hear her sometimes, her loud, grating voice on the phone, a self-satisfied chuckle echoing across the perfectly manicured lawn she so desperately wanted to be bigger than it was. "I just don't know what it is with these new people," she'd say, loud enough for me to hear. "They think they can just come in and take over." Well, I put them in their place. All right. A deep sigh escaped my lips, a sound of frustration and anticipation all at once. What she didn't realize was that every single one of her little transgressions, every single one of her little acts of theft, was being meticulously documented. My phone was full of time-stamped pictures. My security cameras caught her on video, and I had a detailed journal of every incident. The old wooden fence she tried to move 3 inches to the left. The sprinkler head she snapped off. Even the single, pathetic rose bush she tried to transplant from my yard to hers, all of it was proof. And it was all evidence. A few nights ago, I heard a car door slam and a woman's muffled laughter. Peeking through the blinds, I saw her and some friends carrying my new Adirondack chairs, the very ones I had just assembled, across the lawn. They sat on them, sipping wine, as if they were enjoying a cozy evening at a park. "Can you believe the nerve?" one of her friends said, and Karen laughed, a dry, brittle sound like dead leaves crunching. "It's what they get for not being here to claim their property," Karen replied, taking another long sip. My stomach churned, and a hot, acidic feeling rose in my throat. I wanted to scream, to run out there and tell her exactly what I thought of her, but I stopped myself. Not yet. I had a bigger plan. A much, much bigger plan. The property records hadn't been updated online yet. A simple bureaucratic delay that Karen, in all her self-proclaimed wisdom, hadn't bothered to check. She thought I was the new kid on the block, the naive millennial who wouldn't know her property lines from a parking lot. What a tragic miscalculation. The old man who used to own this place, old Mr. Henderson, had been like a grandfather to me. He'd lived here his entire life, and when he passed, he left everything to me. He told me stories about Karen, how she'd complained about his lawn and tried to bully him into selling her a slice of his land. "She's a real piece of work, that one," he'd said with a knowing twinkle in his eye. "Don't you let her push you around. She thinks she owns the world." Oh, I wasn't going to. The day came when I couldn't just watch anymore. She was outside with a land surveyor, a confused-looking young guy with a measuring wheel, pointing at my beautiful, sprawling oak tree. "This tree is on my land," she insisted, her voice tight with authority. The surveyor looked uncomfortable. "Ma'am, according to the official records, this is—" "I don't care about your records," she interrupted, her voice rising to a shrill, angry pitch. "I'm telling you, this is my property. That new neighbor doesn't know what they're talking about. It was my cue. I stepped outside, a manila envelope clutched in my hand, and walked slowly toward them. You looking for something, Karen? I asked, my voice calm, almost too calm. She spun around, her face a mask of shocked defiance. This is a private matter, she spat. Go back inside. I ignored her, turning to the surveyor. I'm sorry about this, I said, handing him the envelope. My name is Ethan. My real name, that is. The surveyor opened the envelope, and his eyes widened as he pulled out the official deed and land survey. Karen, I said, a slow smile spreading across my face. I'm not just the new neighbor. I'm the owner of this entire property, the house, the lawn, everything all the way up to your fence line. The original owner. In fact, her face went white, a sickly, ghostly shade that made her look 10 years older. I pulled out my phone and swiped to a picture of her digging up my hydrangeas. And this is just one of many pictures I have of you trespassing and stealing from my land, I added, my voice hardening. I've also got video footage, witness testimony, and a police report filed an hour ago for every single item you've taken. The officer will be here any minute to take a statement and a list of the property you'll be returning. She opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came out, just a sort of gasping, defeated breath. The surveyor looked at her, then back at me, a silent confirmation of her folly. She had messed with the true property owner, the one who wasn't just a tenant, but the heir to a long legacy of quiet observation. It was a beautiful, crushing moment of justice. Maybe she'll think twice before she tries to steal something that doesn't belong to her again. Because in the end, the truth always finds a way to reveal itself, and the most satisfying karma is the kind you've patiently, meticulously built for yourself. That's the real win, isn't it?